What's happening, people? What's going on? How we doing? How are we doing? Had to change the name on because I was gonna say they made Tim fall on the sword. That was gonna be my heading for this episode on tonight because they did. I am gonna talk about that. How they used Tim as the one to fall on the sword with that situation, but I changed it to not the black man, and I changed it for a reason because before I got on here tonight, I saw a post or a tweet of two Republicans going back and forth. In that tweet, because now Amy Klobuchar, I guess, is going to be running. So they got to try to figure out a way to dirty her up. And I have no problem with that. I don't care what they do or say about her. Doesn't matter to me. I don't care. But what you're not going to do, let me make myself clear. So there was this young man, his name is Myron Burrell. And when Amy Klobuchar was in charge, she prosecuted this kid and put him in prison for shooting over a fence and hitting this little girl. There's evidence, clear evidence, that this kid did not do this. But let me make sure we understand a couple of things. It wasn't just Amy Klobuchar. It was the black community that wanted his head, that said, you need to find somebody. It was the black community who turned this boy in. It was a black community who got the reward money. So it wasn't just Amy Klobuchar. So what happened was, let me explain something else here. When she was running for president, right? We have been asking for her. Now, let me back up here a little bit because I didn't tell you this part. Myron Burrell's wife and his sister met myself, my wife, and another companion of theirs at my church. They sat in my church during the time they was talking about fighting to get this young man out of prison. And Nikki Nicole, a justice fighter, is who introduced me to them. They called me up and said, Rev, we got this case. I listened to the case. I talked to them. We went over this whole thing the whole time. Not only that, but we got a meeting with Keith Ellison at the Capitol in his office about Myron Burrell and this case. We had a big protest of Amy Klobuchar at St. Louis Park High School. We literally shut down. That night is the night Amy Klobuchar walked off, didn't even come on the stage. We wouldn't even give her the stage. But she shut down her presidency run that night. That night it was over with because we would not give her the stage. After we met with Keith, probably about almost 9 months later, Myron Burrell was walking out of prison. He was walking out of prison. Now, I tell you guys this story for this reason. Not one Republican that I talked to wanted to touch this case. Not one. And I be damned if I'm going to let the Republicans use this case to try to dirty her up of a black man. Y'all can kiss my ass. And anybody who comes and says something about it, I will be your worst enemy. I'm not kidding with you. You're not doing that. You're not using, because you didn't use black men. You ain't never done a damn thing for a black man, so you're not using a black man. I don't care what Amy has done. You find something else. Try it. I'll be your worst. I'll get on here and I'll blast you. I'll put your name out there. I will do whatever it's going to take. And I'm not kidding. Y'all barely come into the black community, but when you need to use the black man to do something, then you're going to do a kiss my ass. Yeah, I'm pissed tonight. I'm pissed tonight. I don't care what you say about Amy. I'm not taking up for Amy in no way, shape, or form. I blasted Amy for years, and I still blast her for what she did. But y'all ass ain't using it. Because you did nothing. You didn't help. You didn't say nothing. When he got out, you didn't help. But you want to try to use him now? Get out of here. That's why black folks don't vote for Republicans. Because you don't do a damn thing for us. But you try all types of ways. That's why you got your little tokens running around here talking about black men ain't in the family and all this here type of stuff. You want to know why I'm telling you can't do that? Because you don't ever do anything else for us or with us. That's why. That's why. It ain't happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. If that little boy out in Buffalo, if I see him say something about her and put Myron Burrell in there, that little boy out in Buffalo, I don't care how many fans or how many likes and people he got. No, you don't want this tree. You don't want to bark up this tree. Leave it alone. Go find something else. Y'all can find anything you want to. Hey, Kelly, listen, I'm going to say this here about Amy Klobuchar. I would look up her record running against Republicans. That's all I'm going to say about it. Look up her record running against Republicans. Look at, I mean, I know they got to dirty her up. They have to. They don't have a choice. This is what they got to do. And as far as I'm concerned, there's nobody right now. I'm like everybody. Yeah. 20 to 30. Yeah. She usually wins by 20 to 30 points. That's why they have to dirty up. They've got to get that number. They got to get that number in the teens. They have to. They don't have a choice. Anytime she runs against a Republican, she crushes them. I'm not an Amy. Like I said, I don't have a horse in this race either way. I don't like neither side. I don't like the Republican side, the people who they're running on the Republican side. And there's an independent guy that I met matter of fact, there's an independent guy that I met last weekend that I was on with Don Allen. I was on his show. Go look that show up. It's on Twitter. I like this guy. This guy has some points, some things that I like. I'm not a fan of Amy Klobuchar. I'm not. I spent years telling her about herself. I spent years telling her who she is and what she did. Amy Klobuchar, the reason she's in the position she's in right now. Now, if the Republicans want to hear about it, I'll tell them. The reason Amy is in the position she's in right now is she used the backs of young black boys to get in that position. That is damn true. I have said that over and over and over and over again, because that is exactly what happened. But you know who's not going to repeat what I said? A Republican, because they ass ain't done a damn thing. We fought tooth and nail to get that boy out. Y'all ain't done a damn thing. And then when I came and asked some of you to help me, oh, you didn't want to touch the case. You didn't want to be around. You didn't want to hear about it. And all of a sudden now you want to put your lips around it? Get the hell out of here. Go find something to do. Go play in a damn mud puddle or something. But that's what you're not going to do. Period, point blank. Amy ain't all that in a bag of chips. I ain't never voted for her, would never vote for her, wouldn't think about voting for her. I wouldn't vote. Even if she ran right now as governor, I would not vote for Amy Klobuchar. I would not. Just like there's not a Republican, I won't vote for Lisa Demuth. I will not vote for Kendall Qualls. I ain't voting for Parrish. None of them. Mike, what's his face? They ain't getting my vote. Why? Because y'all act like all this stuff that's going on in Minnesota is just on the Democrats. It's not. And this is a part that I keep telling y'all. As long as y'all carrying water for parties, you will not see the damn truth. And until we get to the truth, it's going to be screwed up. Screwed up. Everybody that's at that Capitol right now needs to go. Everybody. Everybody. All of them. Everybody. Right now, everybody up at that Capitol needs to go. We need a complete, in Minnesota, we need a complete washing, a complete start over. We need a reset of everybody, not just one person, not just the Democrats, not just the Republicans. Everybody needs to be gone. We need to start with, thank you very much, Kelly. We need that everybody at the city council in Minneapolis needs to go today. I'm talking everybody. When Noah in that flood, thank you, Crystal. I was going to say that. They was already, right? The Minneapolis, was already at it today. Already. Matter of fact, during Fry's inauguration today, they had a scuff up, right? That's what I'm saying, y'all. But you know what? Can't get enough people to even understand that no matter who you replace, as long as these people stay in the office, listen to me, nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change. But they fool you. They fool each and every one of you and tell you that, oh, yeah, don't worry about it. We're going to change this, and this is going to be different, and that's going to be different. And it's not. Nothing is going to be different. Nothing is going to change. You're going to see the same thing. The same thing is going to happen. They're going to stop paying money on this here side, and then all of a sudden they're going to figure out how to steal it on this side. Somewhere, somebody is going to be getting money. So let's rip it up. So you have Tim Walz, all right, and I'm glad he's gone. I'm glad he's gone. And the reason I'm saying that is because he went out like a punk. Because he decided to lay down for a this is what gets me, and here's the reason why I see it. I'll always fight against a party. Instead of Tim Walz going, you know what? The fraud got out of hand. The Somalian community went crazy, which they did, right? The Somalians community got greedy. Tim decided, I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. I will fall on this sword. To me, that's total bullcrap. I wouldn't have done it. Do I blame him for the where we're at? I do. But this was going on way before Tim Walz. Way before Tim Walz. It got out of hand under Tim Walz. But this isn't new. It's like I said today. There's a conversation that needs to be had, but I don't think y'all ready for that conversation. Because only thing you're doing, like I always say to you, you're not looking at the big picture. You're not looking over the trees. You're not looking down through the valley. You're stopping right there at Tim Walz. And you're not ready to have the conversation about these Catholic charities, are you? You're not ready to have the conversation about these Lutheran charities, are you? You're not ready for that conversation yet. Because you want to stop at a Amy Bach. You want to stop at a Tim Walz. Oh, we're happy now. Everybody's clapping. Tim Walz quit. Tim Walz quit. Look at us, the Republicans running around. Look at what we did. Look at what we did. That little punk Nick, what's his face? Look at what I did. Everybody's happy. Everybody's enjoying themselves. Let's throw a party. Until 5 years from now when the same thing happens because we did not go after the true reasons why this stuff is happening. We didn't touch that. 2018, Jason Lewis sits right there in Washington under the Donald Trump administration. Yes, it was. Look it up for yourself. And he talks about how bags of money has been walking out of Minneapolis, St. Paul International. In 2018, he talks about the money that had been walking out of Minneapolis, St. Paul. 2018, he talked about the number of daycare centers the Somalis have. He talked about the healthcare situation that was going on with the Somalis. He talked about it in 2018 under the Donald Trump administration, and nothing was done about it. And they was pulling in Haitians, they was pulling in West Africans, and they was all getting money from that. I posted tonight the Hmong leadership, go on my page, you will see it. The Hmong delegate, that's a senator, House of Representative, or whatever. And if y'all don't think, for as long as those people have been here, that some funny business didn't go on when they got here, like I said before, the Hmong community that they brung over here, when they got here, they couldn't speak English, correct? When they got here, they couldn't drive, correct? When they got here, they didn't know the way around Minnesota, correct? How do you think they was able to assimilate into the... It's not like all of a sudden they came here and magically... How do you think that happened, people? This is what I'm telling you. You got to think, people. Don't just stop here. This stuff has been going on for a long time. People have been paid when they bring people, refugees, immigrants to Minnesota. Somebody is getting paid for that group. Correct? I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. Say you're wrong, Rev. But then you explain to me how you can bring people from a war-torn country that don't even know the language, that don't even know the lay of the land, that can't tell you where to go, when to get there, don't know hospitals, don't know how to fill this out, can't write English. You tell me how those people are getting by. War-torn country. All of a sudden, they're living in apartments. They're living in homes. They're living in houses. How is that? How does that work? Help me, make me understand how that works. Housing? Somebody got to get them housing. Somebody got to get them signed up for food stamps and stuff of that nature. Health benefits, that's free. They don't pay for that. The taxpayer pay for that. The problem here that happened with the Somali community, I'm going to say it again so y'all can hear me loud and clear. They got greedy. Now, everybody else who came over here fell in line. They figured it out. They got their kickbacks. They were able to buy property in their area. How is it? Make me understand how a group can come here and all of a sudden they're buying, but not renting, buying buildings. Right now, there's a group of people out in Lakeville that owns a hotel. Correct? They're from another country. So they're able to come over here, and because they are at the time what they call BIPOC, they can go through and use all the small business loans, any type of affirmative action loans that's out there. And then they can go buy a hotel for $15 million. Hey, what's happening, Jeff? Jeff said, "Get a Rev. I love the hat." Yeah, I got a Rev. I didn't know if I was going because I wore my black one last night, Jeff. I got a red one too. I didn't know which one, so the black one was close, or it would have been red tonight. But as Dexter, what people don't, for those who don't know, is I stand with Dexter Taylor. Dexter Taylor is a good friend of ours. He is our political prisoner who is in upstate New York right now. He was, I don't know, was you with us last night, Jeff? Because I had Dexter on last night. So we was talking to Dexter on last night. So all of these people are able to come to this here country and use anything that has anything to do with black folks. That's a fact. That's a fact. They can get loans. They can get loans that they won't loan us, but they'll get it. That's why they buy up all the hotels and all that their type of stuff. One right there in Lakeville. They won't let ICE into their facility. I wish Donald Trump look into them. Find out how did they get the loan to get a $15 million hotel. I like for him to look into that. I like for him to look into all these other hotels and all these other businesses that these immigrants and foreigners have been able to come over to the United States and buy up. I like for them to look through some of these businesses, especially in the black community, because we can't buy business in our own community, but they can. Somebody is getting kickbacks from this stuff. So if we really honestly are talking about getting to the bottom of all of this stuff, not just Tim Walz, not just the Somalian community, but seriously talking about controlling and knocking all of this stuff out, then we've got to go back a little bit. And we got to start looking at the blueprint that was used for every immigrant population that settled here in the state of Minnesota. That's what's got to happen. But y'all not ready for that yet. You're not ready for that discussion. You're not ready to look there. You're not ready for that to happen. You're not. You're not. I was going back and forth with Professor Penn today. Professor said he'd been talking about it for I don't know how long. I can't vouch for that. I've only been following him for a little bit, and the time that I do hear him on, I didn't hear him talk about no nonprofits. Not when I heard him. But I'm sure he probably have. I know him, knowing him, he talks about some of everything. That one. But I can't vouch to say that I've heard him talk about. But until we get these nonprofits under control, the main nonprofit I always talk about is the ones in the black community. I've talked to Republicans about that. They know. They know. He said, "No, sir, I wasn't available. I do catch him often." Okay, sounds like a deal, bro. Yeah, I had him on last night again because we was doing him on Sundays and we fell off a little bit. I've been sick. Carl was sick a little bit, and I think Dexter had some stuff that he had to take care of. So we got back on the wheel last night, man. So we'll have him back next Sunday. I do believe, if everything goes well, Jeff, Dexter will be back here on next Sunday. But Tim Walz decided, because if I was Tim, seriously, I would have been like, hey, look, yeah, you know what? Things are messed up, and I know that. If I was Tim, I would have been like, you know what? I do have it, and show the work that he's done, because there have been daycares that have been closed down. There has been, and Tim needs to put that out on the table so everybody can see that he has closed down daycare centers. He has closed down some of these medical places. DHS has been in here raiding places. People are in jail. People went to jail. Tim Walz could have easily said that today, but he didn't. Tim decided that the Somalis that are left, it's more important that he don't snitch them out for the votes. That's what that was about. No ifs, ands, or buts. Because we all see it. Here's the thing. I can understand it if we didn't see who it was. I can understand Tim going out the way he did. But we all got eyes. We all see it. We've all heard about it. We all know about it. So why not just tell the truth? Why not just come straight off the truth and go, hey, look, the Somalis got greedy. Yeah, they did. They're taking money in suitcases. It wasn't all of them, because it's not. Let's make sure. It's not all of them, but it's enough of them that wreaked havoc on Minnesota. That is facts, people. You can get mad at me if you want. Rev's attacking the Somali. I'm not attacking anybody. Those are facts. Those are truths. Stevie Wonder can see this. So instead of falling on the sword, I would have more respect for you, Tim Walz, had you come out and just said, here is the deal, man. It's totally my fault. When I got on the national stage, which was too big for him, and it was, I dropped the ball. I wasn't running in the right race. I thought I left Minnesota and everything was okay. I thought I had a good vice governor, lieutenant governor, that if I left a little bit, and here Peggy is running for something else, and she ain't do nothing, that's another thing. How is it that y'all letting Peggy off the hook? How is it that y'all are letting Peggy off the hook? Who is she running against? Whoever she's running against, if they're not up 50 points on her, then that's a bad candidate. Go find another, Republicans, find another a candidate that they need to be at least 50 points up on her right now. She was part of what went down. She was part of the fraud. That whole administration. So this is what I'm telling you all. The Republicans put together a fraud committee that had no power, so they knew what was going on until we completely clean house. Everybody. No, man, I told you before we even started this, Republicans to the right, they can go that way. Democrats go that way to the left. If there's an independent who didn't speak up, independents need to go. All of them. We just need, and then we just start voting new people in the office. Everybody's got to be new, man. Nobody who knew about this, nobody who was involved in this needs to go back to that Capitol. Because if they go back, you better believe it's going to happen again. You better believe something else is going to go down. This is not going to be the last of it. But they got to go. Anybody we send to Washington, they got to go. But see, we don't have power like that. Right? We don't have power like that. I always love when someone used something that this dude, the friar of Fogtown, hold on, I'll show you. Hold on. This is what cracks me up about people. But they're going to learn. People are going to learn. People's going to learn. People are going to learn. I'm not the one. I'm not the one. We can have this. So today I have to explain this to you because, see, he told a lie. That's a lie. He used my right. He used something that I posted today, and I'll tell you about this story. Right, and I explained this to him, but he chose. I had a 2-part series on liars. And he fell into that category right then and there. That's a lie. See, people will believe, and this is what I keep telling you guys. People will believe a lie before they believe the truth. People will believe a lie before they believe the truth. Okay, so with this here, what happened today? That guy right there, I can report right here, right now to you all. This happened in Brooklyn Park. ICE went over to the square, Brooklyn Park Square, and the guy who actually took this here, the guy who actually took this video, I know him very well. Okay? So this is how I was able to get my information today. But that guy is not illegal. The guy that they got is not illegal. What ICE did, ICE went over there, right? And if you didn't speak English, and this guy is from Nigeria. The guy that they took, who has a passport, ICE didn't ask him for his passport. They got out. They asked him a question. The guy said, I answered them. They grabbed me and start throwing me in the vehicle. Now, this video This video this video that this dude used that I posted is on Facebook. But I can report that they checked his information and he is at home. He's shaking because they scared the crap out of him. This happened in Brooklyn Park today. All right? And this numbnut wants to lie to you. That's a lie, people. That's a bold-faced lie. And I'm the last person that you're going to use something of mine and then tell a lie about. So he lied. And here's the thing. Before he even posted this, let me make sure you understand something. Before he posted this, I explained this situation to him. He knew these wasn't illegals. But look at this. He did it anyway. He did it anyway. Even, listen to me, even though he knew the truth, he posted a lie anyway, knowing people are going to see this lie and believe it. I did a two-part. If you didn't see the two-part series I did on lying, go to my YouTube page. Make sure you subscribe once you go there and listen to what I said about lying. It's easier for people to believe a lie than hear the truth. And that is the truth. It's better for me. I would have more people following me. And I'm not kidding. I would have more people following me if I came on here and I lied to you every single night. I would have a huge following, but because I tell the truth, and a lot of people seriously don't like the truth, I go back and forth with people on my page. Why? Because I tell the truth. And then they get on there and be like, no, that's not right, Rev. I'll be like, no, yeah, it is. Let me show you why. And then I don't see them anymore. I had a guy just the other day, and I don't know if Big what's his name is on here or not. And I keep telling you guys. So I had a troll on my page a couple days ago. And one of the things that I always tell you guys is don't get involved. If you see a troll on my page, leave him alone. Because I'm going to expose him. And I did with this troll that was messing with me the other day. Because he didn't want anything at all. But just to be seen. And he did everything he possibly can do to get me to block him. So he can go all over the internet and be like, look at this. Rev blocked me because I proved him wrong, or Rev blocked me because I didn't agree with him. You don't have to agree with me. It's better if you don't, because then we can have a conversation. But I don't block you for that. I'm gonna block you if we get to the point where you're called like the dude that I blocked, like this dude. Hold on. Did I keep him? I blocked this dude today. Dude literally, just got filthy on me. And I didn't even say anything. That's the thing about it. I said nothing and dude got ugly, nasty, filthy on me. Right? So I had to block him. So if he runs around, if you see him, if you see this dude out there somewhere, I blocked him today because he said some very nasty things. He said some very nasty things. So Frog Top, I wonder if he's watching. He said, what was the American citizen name that ICE mistakenly got? I don't know. Why don't you look it up? See, there he is. So now he's mad because I called him out on his lies. This is what they do. That's what cracks me up about him. I don't know, dude. If you're watching, you go look it up. You go get the information. I give you the information that I got. He said, just because you have a passport doesn't mean you're an American. I never said. Did I ever say that? Did I ever said just because you had? Did I say this guy was an American? Did I not say he was Nigerian? The only thing I said is he had a passport. See, that's what cracked me up about him. Got him. See, that's what I'm saying. I always my trolls. They always make a mistake because they try to think like I do and they can't. So anyway, what time is it? Oh, I got 10 minutes. I got to get out of here at 8:00 because I want to go. I got to get out here at 8:00. What else have to answer? Nothing else. But no, with Tim and everything that's going on, that's the part. And so they don't like me on Facebook because I put out a post that said any of the black gatekeepers that worked with Tim Walz, I hope you're putting an application in to get a job. And they know what I'm talking about. It's just like if you follow me long enough, you always heard me talk about the black churches that Tim Walz got in his pocket. Well, them black churches got to find a way to find some money somewhere because they won't be getting no more money from Tim Walz. The black churches that keep black people voting Democrat will not be getting no more Democratic money. Period. Not from Tim Walz unless it comes through somewhere else in the Democratic Party, which it again that takes me back to what I've been talking about. You're not going to stop the money flow. You're not. You're just not. And the reason you're not going to stop the money flow is because you're not going to go deep enough to really want to stop the money flow. The Republicans really don't want to stop it. And the Democrats really don't want to stop it because they're all benefiting in some type of way of this money flow. Those are facts, people. Because they could have, like I said, they could have stopped this in 2018. 2018, we could have had people in jail. 2018, we could have had people being investigated. We could have had daycares closed down. Oops, sorry. We could have. Under the Trump administration, we could have had people in jail. But you know why they're not? Because nobody cared. And only reason they care now is because it's election season. And this is about points. This isn't about stopping fraud. This isn't about getting the bad guy. This is about political points. Y'all need to see that. Y'all need to see that. They use Lisa DeMoss and the Republicans. Lisa DeMoss and the Republicans brought in this Nick dude, fed him all this information. Correct? Brought him in, fed him all this information. And then when everybody made the big brouhaha of it, Lisa made sure she got her name out there in front. Oh, look at what we did. Look at what the Republicans did. And the very Republicans who are putting this stuff out here, again, had a fraud committee right there at the Capitol. Everything this kid was talking about, they talked about it. It was on C-SPAN. Y'all could have watched this stuff go down. Everything this kid did. Could have heard it right there from the very Republicans who fed him information. But they knew. Gullible people would fall for it. And y'all did. You did. You did. Hey, Frogtown, no, I didn't get his name. I just made sure that, number one, he was home safe, because that's my job. And they said that he had a passport. I never said he was American. You didn't hear me say that. You said that. I didn't need the guy in his name. The only thing I asked was, is he home? Is he okay? Or what happened? What's the deal? ICE jumped out and grabbed this man. Period, point blank. Didn't ask any question. People was fighting, as you can see. They was fighting to try to keep him. Put him in the thing, drove him right there, Brooklyn Park, where they take them all. And I'm sure probably his family, either he had it in his pocket or his family went and took it. Now, I know that upsets you that a black man is not locked up tonight. I know that upsets you. You said you're not mad. No, you're mad because you're doing everything you possibly can do. You're mad that a black man, you're like the other Republicans who are trying to use a black man to dirty up Amy Klobuchar. What you guys are not understanding is a lot of these people who are here, That's why ICE can't touch them, because either they got a passport or they got a right to be here. You all want everybody like you put up there, which is a lie. The guy wasn't illegal. That's a lie, dude. And you posted that. But a black man is not sitting in a black Nigerian. Let me put it that way. Is not sitting in jail tonight. I hate to be the one to bust your bubble, but he's not. And no, I didn't get his name. I just called and asked if he was okay, and they told me he was. Right? And they told me he was. So there's that. But don't worry about it, bro. Don't worry about it. Because they are getting a bunch of illegals. They've been down on Lake Street, and they've been down there in North Minneapolis. They've been down there in South Minneapolis. They're getting enough people out of here. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about that. And I'm sure they're going to work their way to darker people that looks like me. So therefore, you guys can get that juice feeling going. Oh, he got them darkies. Trust me, bro. They're gonna work their way. Apparently, 2,000 people, 2,000 more agents or whoever are coming in here. So, a lot of people are shaking in their boots right now. A lot of people are shaking in their boots right now. So, only thing they have to do is go to one of these so-called sanctuary cities and just go through it. So, but they're going after everybody except for who they said they was going to go after, who Operation Metro Surge was actually meant for. But like I said, they got the Mexican here. They got the Mexican community shook. I mean, just completely shook. And I did, and I showed you guys what I let you listen to the voicemail of the pastor that called me and asked if I would help them out with delivering groceries and things of that sort to the Mexicans who are afraid to come out of their house. So, there's that. But they are all over. They are, and if they're bringing in 2,000 more, it's gonna be an unbelievable time. It's going to be unbelievable here in Minnesota. But here's the thing: they're not gonna get too many because it's cold outside. Nobody goes outside when it's cold. If Trump really wanted to do something, he'll wait till it's winter. He'll wait till it's winter. Wait till it's summer. When they're all out and they're selling all the groceries and stuff like that on the not the groceries, but the fruit, and they're doing their cookouts and they're selling this and selling that. He would he said, what did he say? He said, you're mad because you don't know the guy's name and That's how it works with people who don't do nothing. Their job basically is to sit behind their computer in their basement at home and try to tear down people who are actually out on the streets. I'm showing you that I'm out on the street. I show you the things that I do. So their job is that. I did not ask. So let me say it again, because apparently they don't listen either. So when I called my friend who took the video, I said, "Is this guy okay?" He said, "He's fine. They got his passport, and he's home." I didn't ask his name. That wasn't important to me. Why do I want to know his name? I just wanted to make sure he was okay. Period. I'm not going to post something that's not right. Now, you will take something, Frogtown, and you will post something and you would lie about it. Because that's what you did, bro. You lied. Okay? And that's the problem right now is you're pissed because I'm calling you out. Well, I'm calling you out because what you did was a lie. He was not, and I'm going to say it again, illegal. That's just, you can leave it up. I wouldn't expect you to have any type of compassion. I wouldn't expect you to have a morsel to take that down. He said, "Is he here illegally?" They let him go? If he was illegal and he wasn't supposed to be here, they would keep him. But he has a passport. So, let me make sure I understand it. So if somebody has a passport to be here, are you saying that are you asking? Well, hold on. Are you asking if he overstayed his visa? Because you need a visa and you need a passport. Can somebody help me out with this real quick? Because I'm not going to act like I know stuff, right? I'm not like a lot of people on here. So if I come to the United States, and if I get a passport and I come to the United States, I can only stay for so many days. Am I right? Or if I get a work visa, I can only stay for so many. Or can I get a passport and stay for a couple of years? But the bottom line is, I don't know if he's illegal. I have no clue. Only thing I know is, so like I told you, number one, they got him. Apparently, they read his passport or whatever papers he had, and then they let him go. So, I'm not sure, man. That I can't answer. I don't know if he was here on a work visa. I don't know if he was on here, what is it, H-1B visa. But apparently they got the people who is important, his passport, and they let him go. So, again, bro, I know that breaks your heart that a black man is not in jail right now. I understand. But I don't know how else to tell you that the black man is free. And if they wanted him, and they needed to deport him, they wouldn't have let him go. That much I know. That much I know, man. So I don't know how much of that is going to soothe your heart at all. But as far as everything goes now, we just got to sit back and wait and see what happens. Wait and see. I mean, because Amy really, I don't think Amy has she even said, have Amy even said that she was going to run? Have she, before the Republicans decided to pull out everything but the kitchen sink, did Amy actually said I'm running? I guess that's another question. Did she actually say she's running? I don't think so. I haven't heard an announcement. But they are already on her. So again, I don't care. I don't care what she does. It ain't gonna get me. I don't think she should run, and I don't think a lot of them should run. And I think we as people should be the one to decide who actually gets in that house. And until we clean house, completely clean it for everybody, this stuff is not going to end, people. None of it is going to end. None of it is going to change. As long as the same people stay in office, nothing at all is going to change. I guarantee it. I guarantee you in 5 years from now, we will probably be here talking about some other type of fraud. We will probably be here talking about some other type of money that went missing. We will probably be here talking about voter integrity and all of that stuff. 5 years from now, because we didn't do our job. I'm not going to blame them anymore. I'm going to blame us because we didn't do our jobs. We're going to put the same people who caused the problem, caused the trouble, right back in office and go, well, fix it. They've had years to fix it, and it's not fixed. They've had years to fix this stuff, and it's not fixed. And we're still in the same boat as we were in 2018 when Jason Lewis sat in front of that committee, both Republicans, Democrats, and independents. And he told them about all the money that was leaving the state of Minnesota through the airport. He told them about the daycares. He told them about the health situation. He told them about the transportation. He told them about the medical equipment situation that was going on with the Somalis. And he named them by name. And nothing was done about it. And what we're going to do now is we're going to stop at Tim Walz. Tim Walz is the escape guy, just like Amy Bach. They got Amy Bach. They got the white woman. They put her in jail. And you haven't heard anything else about the Feed Your Future. If y'all think she was the only problem there, you're out your mind. You haven't heard anything else about Feed Your Future situation because they got Amy, put her in jail. They put a couple of other people in jail, and that's it. We're $400 million and a couple people in jail, and we're done with that situation. Let's move on. And they're still writing checks talking about feeding people out of these restaurants, out of these daycares. The money is still flowing. It was still flowing. Even when Amy was sitting on the witness stand testifying, the money was still flowing. But because we got her, everything is, nothing else needs to be said, right? That's what I'm telling you. It's deeper than Amy. This stuff goes farther than Amy Bach, the Feed Your Future top dog, they call her, the ringleader. Watch this here. So they said that she had 47 buildings, 47 daycare buildings in her name. Who bought the building? How did she purchase those buildings? And who sold all of those buildings to them? What real estate company, watch this, what real estate company was selling these properties to these people? No red flag? Is that what you're telling me? No red flag. It goes deeper than her. Same thing with the cars. These people pulling out of dealerships. They go into a dealership for a $70,000 car. They write a $50,000 check and they drive off the lot. And this happened time and time and time and time and time again. So you're going to tell me this dealership and these brand new cars that they're driving, no red flags? People, this goes deeper. But we don't think that deep because they give us somebody and then we're happy with the people that they give us. And then we shut up and we go on about our business. We go live our everyday life. And then something else happened. Something else happened. And then something else happens. And then we get all excited about it. We get all excited about it. Frog said, he said, why in the picture does he look like he's resisting arrest? Because he is resisting arrest. Not only is he resisting arrest, but there's people that are fighting. There are people that are fighting the ICE agents. His girlfriend, that you see the black dude in that picture, you see the black dude, Frogtown, that's in front. They're fighting the agents, trying to get them, and they're yelling at him, at the agents going, no, not him, no, not him. They're fighting him. Then he said, and if he's here illegally, why would he not just show his pet? I don't know, bro. I don't know if he had his passport on him. I don't know if they had to take his passport. I don't know all of that. This is what I know. I know in the video they're fighting. They took him down. They had him in the back of the car, and they took him away. That's what I know. That's what I know. But I know, like they said, he's home. So again, I just have to say sorry. He said, "Speak the truth, Rev, and speak without fear." I don't have no fear, because if I know you're coming, you're not gonna get. If I know you're coming, I got something that'll get you 200 yards away. If I don't know you're coming, I got something that's gonna get you. You get 5 feet, and that's about it. You get about 5 feet, and that's about it. So I speak my mind, I speak the truth, and I speak what I know. That's the same thing that I'm telling Frogtown here, who's upset that a black man isn't behind bars right now. He's trying every single way to try to make sure that the black man should be behind bars. But only thing I can tell you is they let him go, man. That's what that's what I know, bro. I understand you want the black man behind bars. I get it. But only thing I can tell you right now is they let him go. You know? They did that with the Somalis too. That's why they're not messing with the Somalis anymore, Frogtown. Did you know that? So Trump sends all of these people in here to grab these Somalis, only to find out is they're Somali Americans, and you can't deport them. You can't deport them. And everybody was thinking, oh, all of these Somalis are going to be criminals. Come to find out, most of them don't even have a rap sheet. Most of them ain't even been booked for nothing. So Frogtown, even then, they were taking them to Brooklyn Park, right? Taking them down there, they book them, and then they had to let them go. He said, I've traveled. Oh, well, brother, you have never come down to Broadway. You should come to Broadway on a week. Come hang out with me on a weekend on Broadway, or come down to South Minneapolis with me. If you think that nobody, even a black American, don't resist. Wait a minute, dude. How you think most black men get shot and killed by police? Because they resist an arrest. So you're not going to sit there and try to act like nobody resists a. Come on, man. Come on, dude. You're better than this. Like I said, I understand. I get it, bro. It irks you that this black man is not in jail. But to sit here and act like that nobody resists arrest, okay, I'm going to go on YouTube as soon as I get off of this. And I'm going to pull up some white men who have resisted arrest. And I'm going to send those to you. And then I want you to explain to me, why are they resisting arrest? Why are they? You said you've been to other countries and they resist arrest every day, man. Every single day. Half the black men that's been shot by cops, what do they say? No, seriously. What do the cops say to get off so they don't go to jail? He did what? Oh, he resisted arrest. Or, hold on, I feared for my life. Isn't that what they say? So I'm sure you don't know who the Jump Out Boys are. You don't even know what they are, correct? Let me explain the Jump Out Boys to you, so you can understand how things work in other communities, because this wouldn't happen in your community, right? All of a sudden, like 4 or 5 unmarked cars come around the corner, and all of a sudden, I mean, really fast. All of a sudden, out of each car, at least 4 people with the tactical vest on and all, it will jump out of these cars, and they got their target. They know who they want, and they all go running for this guy. And this guy takes off. This happens. I've seen this many a times. Right there on Broadway in Lindale, right there at the gas station. He takes off running. Team runs after him. They get him. He's kicking and scratching, and they dragging him back into the car, and they putting him down on the ground. They holding him down, choking him out, some of everything. Resisting arrest. So when ICE shows up in these unmarked vehicles, and they jump out of these unmarked vehicles onto a guy who's going to a check, because that's where he was going. I know that much. Over in Brooklyn Park, there's a check cashing place. That's where him and his girlfriend and some other people was going, to the check cashing place. So he gets out of his car on his way to the check cashing place, and the police jump on him. He don't know what's going on. Wait a minute, what's going on? I didn't do, what do you got me for? So yes, sir, he is resisting arrest. Now, you may not do it. Now, you may be one of them dudes that's in a nice neighborhood that your police will walk up to you and say, hey, how you doing today? Oh, I'm doing good. Or you're out walking your dog, and then the police be like, you got a really nice dog. How's your day going? Then they'll be like, well, we got a warrant here for your arrest. Just wondering if, we can walk you back to your house, and then you can put your dog away. And if you don't mind, turn it around. We like to handcuff you. And then we just go walk you back to the car. Now, that could be something that I'm sure that's what happens to you. Don't happen to a lot of people. I can tell you that. I've seen it with my own eyes. So when you're wondering why this dude is resisting arrest, the same reason a lot of other people are resist arrest, because they've been jumped on by a bunch of guys in tactical vests with their face covered up, with helmets on. You damn right. I'd probably resist arrest. I would probably freak out. That's just how it's done, bro. That's how it's done. If I ever come back, when they was talking about reincarnating, Frogtown, I want to come back as you. I want to look like you. I want to act like you. But I want to be myself so I know what it feels like. I want to come back as you, bro. Anyway, fam. Again, don't let the lies fool you. Listen to me, man. Don't let the lies fool you, because it's easy. It is easier for me. I can get on here for as much as I know. I can get on here and lie to you like crazy. And my fan base will build like you wouldn't believe, because it's easy for me to lie to you than to actually tell you the truth. So Tim Walz is going to ride off in the sunset. I don't think he's going to. To me, he can't. Tim has to go. Tim can do nothing else politically here in the state of Minnesota. He can't take Amy's seat. I just don't see it. I know people have been asking it. Well, I wonder if he's going to take Amy's seat. Come on, man. I just can't see that happening. This man is a buffoon. He is an embarrassment on probably one of the largest stages there actually ever is. The only thing that comes close to this, to me, is when Harold Washington, y'all don't even know who this is. I'm about to show you my age. When Barry, what's his face, was Harold Washington. Anyway, there was a mayor or governor. One of them. I got to look it up. But anyway, I'll look it up and I'll get my story straight. But they caught him smoking crack. Literally caught this man smoking crack. Right? That's what I'm saying, CJ. I think that CJ said, nah, he said he's dead weight now. He failed big time. He did. I'm right along with you, CJ. I just cannot see him ever in politics, ever doing nothing. Dog catcher. No. Nothing. He has to retire. When he moved out of the governor's mansion, he has to go back. Where is he from? Nebraska? Is he Iowa or something like that? Oh, Oklahoma? Wherever he's from, that's where he has to go. He can't even stay in Minnesota anymore. He has to leave this state. And the only time he can come back to Minnesota is with permission. Once he's done, he can no longer come back to Minnesota, and only way he can come to Minnesota is with permission. But I cannot see him in politics anymore for anything. Nothing. He don't deserve it. If somehow they try to swing it, well, Amy switches seats with him. That shows you how crepit the Democratic Party is. And everybody was talking about Tom Emmer. And I was saying, if I could, he said, born and raised in Nebraska. There you go. He has to go to Nebraska. He has to go. He has to go to Nebraska and never, ever, ever come to Minnesota ever again. Ever. Tim Walz can never come to this state ever again. Talking about a flyover state. If him and his family, let's take a trip. And the shortest way to get to Green Bay, Wisconsin is through Minnesota. No, Tim Walz is not allowed. He's not allowed. Tim Walz got to stay somewhere. He got to go somewhere, the whole nine. And then for the rest of these here Democrats, all of them knew. All of them. Every single Democrat out there. You cannot tell me there's not one Democrat that can never sit here and say to me, Rev, I didn't know. Use a damn lie. Every Democrat knew. They all knew. Every single one of them. Amy knew also. Peggy knew also. All of them. Steve Simon, he knew. Name a Democrat, and I'll tell you they knew. That's why I'm sitting here saying right here, people, all of them got to go. All of them. It's not going to end until all of them are gone, until the House is clean, until the Senate is clean. And then when you're done with that, go the Minneapolis. He said they will never admit it. Exactly, CJ. Amy knew. Amy knew. There isn't a Democrat in the state of Minnesota, not one in the state of Minnesota, that did not know that the Somalis was taking all that money. All of them knew. All of them. All of them. What's that other one named? Tina Smith. She knew. Ilhan Omar. Her ass knew. Every single one of them. That's how we do it in the South. Not every single one of them knew. They knew. If they was under Walls, they knew. If they was under Peggy, they knew. And that's the thing that gets me about this whole situation. Peggy's like, oh, I don't want to be lieutenant governor anymore. If Walls had a won with Harris, she would have been the governor. She would have been, Peggy would have been the governor. She would have stepped in his shoes. The same shoes who knew about all this fraud going on. So Peggy knew. Correct? I mean, if I'm wrong, say I'm wrong. If Peggy was shielded, they didn't tell her nothing. She didn't go nowhere. She stayed in her home. She didn't listen to anybody. She never went to any of these daycares. She's never been around any Somali Americans. She's never been around anybody or anything. She never went to these clinics. She's never had any type of transportation notes in her get-up. She didn't listen to the fraud committee, the Republican fraud committee, all of that. That's the only way. That's the only way that she did not know. That's the only way that she did not know. Now, if you want me to lie to you, I'll sit here and say I believe that she didn't know. If you want me to lie to you, I'll sit here and say I believe she's off the hook. Peggy didn't know. Peggy never heard anything. Peggy never watched TV ever. She ain't never traveled 10 feet outside of her room, her house. She didn't turn the TV on, so she didn't know what they were saying on Nightcast. She didn't know what they were saying on C-SPAN. She didn't hear anything from 2018 when Jason Lewis was talking about it. That whole debacle with the Feed Your Future, she never heard it. Don't know who Amy Bach is. Don't know about the places in Wilmer who said that they were feeding 300 kids a day and they was making all this money. Peggy didn't know none of that stuff. So I can't blame Peggy for being the lieutenant governor when all of this fraud was going on. I can't blame Peggy because she didn't know. Peggy is off the hook. Y'all leave Peggy alone. She's running for what seat? She running for some seat. What's she running for? She's running for some seat. So we're gonna leave Peggy alone, let her win her seat, and she can happily go off to Washington without knowing any of this fraud ever happened. Peggy, a Democrat. And I want y'all to believe that. I want you to believe everything I just said. Anyway, hey, I got to get off this thing. I got to jump over here. Carl is having a space here, and he got Dexter Taylor in the space. So I got to bounce over there just for a little bit tonight before I go up here and plug in and everything. CJ said, I call BS. No, CJ. No. You're not going to get me to believe that Peggy had anything to do with this, CJ. Nothing. I'm CJ, I'm sticking to what I said. Peggy is the only one. Everybody else is guilty, but not Peggy. Not the lieutenant governor, not the second in charge, Peggy. Just don't work that way. She wasn't listening. She wasn't around. She didn't see it. So I can't, CJ, I can't condemn her when she's second in charge. When the Feed Your Future was going on. When the hospital bill, Medicaid fraud. Nope. She didn't hear that. Anyway, fam, hey, I'm going to get off this thing, man. I appreciate you guys. Hey, and like I said, I thank everybody who chimed in on last night with Dexter Taylor. And like I said, one of the reasons we do that with Dexter, because like I don't know, she's too busy wearing a miniature. Oh yeah, mutilated children's shirt. That shirt that she wears around. Thank you all for hanging out with us on last night with Dexter. One of the reasons that we do that, and I tell people this here. I don't know if you ever been in prison or if you ever went to visit in a prison and this here type of stuff. And I was for 10 and a half years, I was a prison minister, and I would have to go inside the prison. And like I said, I knew I was coming out, but my body was still freaking out when I heard the clang of them doors. It does something to you. I'm not kidding when I say that. Anybody if somebody's been in prison or you've been deep inside the prison, tell me how you felt. And you even though you knew you was coming out, I knew I was coming out. But going in that prison, man, it's just something different, bro. It is so different. So when I would go in there, all of a sudden you hear the doors clanking, you hear, this, and it's so noisy. That's another thing that gets you about prison. It is so noisy, right? So we do that for Dexter, right? We try to give Dexter an outside look of what's going on. We try to talk to him. We try to keep his mind set, his mind right. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about is Dexter Taylor. Look him up. His name is Dexter Taylor, right? Dexter Taylor. Put together a AR-15. And he buys and he did all of this with a credit card. Okay? So listen to this here real quick. So here's a man that if he wanted to sneak and do things, how would you do it? With cash, right? Not with your credit card. So he buys the parts with his credit card. Going, everything's cool. I don't have a problem. I'm not bothering anybody. I'm not stealing. I'm not trying to take it. I'm not buying anything off the side of the road. I'm not paying cash for it so you don't know. He literally bought all his parts with his credit card. because American Express gave up all his information. His credit card, yes. So watch out for your credit card company. So they was like, well, wait a second. You put a lower with your upper, and you're not supposed to do that. And they took him to trial. And they said, we're going to give you 10 years. The gun never been outside. The gun had never been fired. He wasn't selling guns. They gave this man 10 years in the state of New York. And watch this. It had something to do with guns. You know what his lawyer couldn't fight them with? They would not let his lawyer use the Second Amendment as a defense. I'm not kidding you. I'm not. They threw it out. This is how bad our government is. This man is sitting in prison on a 10-year stint for putting together a firearm. He didn't kill nobody. He didn't murder anybody. He didn't rob a bank. Nothing. But type in your computer, Dexter Taylor. And we've written everybody. Don Jr. Matter of fact, Dana Loesch told Don Jr. about Dexter Taylor. That's how deep this thing is. That's how up there. And we was hoping Don Jr. go and talk to his father about Dexter Taylor. Or say, hey, let's look at this guy who that they railroaded. So we've sent letters, we've sent emails, some of everything about Dexter Taylor. So if you don't know about him, I'm asking you, ma'am and sir, please go take a look at Dexter Taylor. But we're going to get out of this thing, y'all. And before we get out of here, we always got to understand and remember that the God that we serve is an almighty God, an unbelievable God, a God that no matter what goes on will make sure that things in your life will go right. All right? He said a judge shut down the Second Amendment software engineer. No record of any kind of free Dexter Taylor. Yeah, the judge, right? The judge shut that down, Jeff, right? He said, like he said, free Dexter Taylor. And it's sad. It's sad. But I always, no matter what happens, even with Dexter, I will always believe in God. I believe God will always do the right thing. It's just a matter of time. I think Dexter is there to show us a corrupt government. And I believe God's going to take care of everything with him. I think God's going to bring him through this. I think God's going to make him stronger than he was before he went in there. And God will do the same for you and I. When we're going through trials and tribulations, it's God's compassion and his mercy that comes down on each and every one of us, right? To bring us through this thing. No matter where you go, no matter how you do it. Say, yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. There's a lily always in the valley sitting there waiting for you. God has promises. I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. No weapons formed against me shall ever prosper. That is a promise. No matter what they say and how they say it and when they say it. That is a God that you don't have to worry about. Mom, dad, sister, brother, every now and then. But the God that we serve, you don't have to worry about that. And for that and that alone, we should have smiles on our face. And we know what we do with those smiles. We take them out and we smile at somebody. So somebody smile back at you. Y'all have a good night. Peace be with you. Be safe until Wednesday. I'll see you then. Bye now.